Hello, 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 hello. This is Augustus right here on the chart. It's been a while. About last 2 weeks ago, we couldn't make the backtesting video, but we are going to make it up to you today. So I think last 2 weeks was on 11th. So we start backtesting from 11th to what happened last Friday. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. So where are we going to find 11th? We have 12 here. So on this vertical line, we have our 11th there. So that's where we're going to start. All right. Now we understand that GBPUSD is in a bearish trend. Of course, it's in a bearish trend. But currently, when you look at what is happening in 4 hour, it is currently going up, meaning it is retracing to a certain level before it comes down. So whenever price sells to the low, obviously it has to retrace to grab some liquidity before it can move to the downside. So that's where we are heading towards, and we are here. So there is a probability we could get to this high. That's why we have to think. What do we have to think about now? So when we come to 1 hour, that's where we are going to get our, we are going to look for entries over there. So as price moved from this top, this contact it made with this top, it means we will have an origin zone like this. Ideally, supposed to pick this one, but whenever you have a very long candle, we just go for 50% of that. So that's going to be our zone. And we'll be waiting. If price comes to the zone and confirms, then we are going to take our long position. All right. Now, when you look at this, we have this small bearish candle over here. So I can also pick that one as what my region of monitoring. But of course, it is closer to this high that was taken out. So assuming I include that one with this, that's the breakup block I'm talking of. You're going to get something like this. So that's where I'll be waiting for price to come and test and see if I get a probable confirmation that I'm going to enter. So of course, price moved to this top and it came down. So we move on to the 5 minutes for our confirmations, and we enter the trade accordingly. All right. So this is what the 5 minutes has for us. Let's see what has actually happened. All right. So in the 5 minutes, what we can see is that price tapped into the zone, and whenever price taps into the zone and confirms for the first time, we don't have to enter unless probably we get a pin bar candle. That one is very, very effective, so we can consider entering. But when it taps into the zone for the first time, just leave it. And the second thing it did, it came to break this structure, this high. So what is going to happen is that the origin block, I'm going to use that one and extend it into the future. So the first thing I will do is that I will set a limit order here. I always risk nowadays, after some series of backtest, I now risk 25 pips and target I also target 1 to 4 risk reward. So 25 pips, then I'm targeting 100 pips. All right. So price went and it came and tagged us in. Let's look at the drawdown. Drawdown is about 7 pips drawdown. So if you also like, you can wait for a better candlestick and enter the trade. But since when this high was taken out, I can use that, what do we call it, limit order. And again, even this high was also taken out. So the same block, you could have secured an entry over here. All right. And the target was 100 pips. So definitely we got that. So back to the 1 hour zone and see how price treated us. So it means we got to our TP. Previously, I used to target 1 to 5, but after a series of back tests, and I realized that most of the time price wouldn't get to hit TP, so I have to revise everything. And now I'm targeting 1 to 4. Then when you look at this price, let's go to the 4 hour, because price was moving into a critical zone. All right. So price was heading towards this zone where we also had the 4 hour band. So the trend is bearish and the 4 hour band is there. Look at this. We also have the 170 EMA over there. So we realize that there are a lot of confluences. So at first, what I do here is that as price moves closer to the zone, I will look for a block that I will use as my point of monitoring POI. So I have made some changes. The color is this one. It looks like white. Then when you look at the candle is too huge for me. So what I will do is that I will go for 50% of the length of that bullish candle inside this bearish move. Then look what happened. Price came to test that zone after that, and it dropped massively. So I will come to the 1 hour to see whether the reversal is going to work out. In fact, this is a reversal in the direction of a trend. So when you are trading that one, it's very nice. When price started the zone, the way it gave us a very nice double top over there. So price came here and it confirmed here. So let's go to 5 minutes and see how best we could have taken an entry. So in the 5 minutes, I think this day there was a CPI news. So although price entered the zone and stuff, I wasn't interested entering because of a whole lot of things. So 5 minutes, for the first time it entered the zone, it came down. For the second time you got it here. So I'm supposed to enter around this place, but the downside is that the next bearish candle that confirms the entry is too wide, so I can't enter there. So what I will do is that I wait for price to give me another entry, and lo and behold, price came and I had this small candle over here. I don't really know the name. So that's after that candle, that's where I'm going to enter. So USD, then my stop loss will be here, and at the end of the day, I didn't do refinement in 14 pips drawdown. I didn't do refinement in the 15 minutes. So this is how it will be. Then after price took out this low, assuming I missed that entry, I can also use this zone and for that one is going to be a limit order, and also catch that entry. So assuming if when you are right with the direction, assuming if you want to take another one or probably you missed, price also gave us this nice pin buy here could have also secured an entry. This was prior the news, but all these trades I didn't get in because of the news. Then let's move on. So back to 1 hour. So we know that price has confirmed that it is going down in the direction of the trend. So currently we are not going to look for buys, only sells. All right. So what happened next? All right. So what happened was we had this kind of single candle over here. And we want to use that one as our zone that we are going to monitor price. Of course, if we use this huge bullish candle, it's not nice. So what I always do is that I'm going to go for half. Candles like this, I just go for the wick part. Something like this. All right. Or possibly I can come down to 15 minutes and refine that over there. So let's come to 15 minutes and see the refinement that we can do there. All right. I think I can use the lower part of that. Now to the 5 minutes where we are going to look for our possible confirmations for entry. With this kind of strategy, trading becomes simple. You get a lot of entries. There is no FOMO. And for every trade you enter, in trading, you will lose. So when you lose, you just have to be okay with that and just wait for a better entry and move on. All right, price tapped in. We had this low, price broke. So I'll be waiting to enter a limit order. This candle is too huge. So in fact, with this, I'll go for the wick and extend it like this. Then price tagged me in here for a sell, or not NZD, for USD. Yeah, for a sell. Price almost took me out. Let me see the pips. It tagged me in here. Then 22.6. So almost, price almost took me out. Then a whole lot of confirmations over there. This was very nice in that same zone. Very nice pin bar. So yeah, that was nice. And also, so in the 5 minutes, I think the best candles, apart from the patterns we are trading, is the pin bars. So I don't think any entry. The perfect entry would have been this, because when you look at this wick, it also grabbed liquidity over there. So most of the time, what I do is that if I am opening, let's say, a 0.05 lot, I trade a smaller account size. So I don't open the 0.05 here only. No. I'll first of all open 0.03. And when price trades above the zone, a little bit higher, then I'll open the rest of the positions. That's 0.02. That's how I trade. So I wouldn't put all my X at this zone. No. Assuming price doesn't give me an entry to enter, it's just the 0.03 that will run. But if it retraces deeper, then I'm going to enter the full 0.05. Of course, that was that. And let's see whether our TPs were duly smashed. Wow, our TPs were smashed over here. So we have to prepare for the next entry, still in the 1 hour zone. Then price broke this low over here and this was the candle, this bearish candle that took out the low. So we're going to pick the low and draw a bearish zone. Of course, the candle is too huge, so we have to go for half, or at best, let's go to 15 minutes where we can refine the zone, and back to 5 minutes for our entry confirmations. All right. Okay. So 15 minutes. What am I gonna use? This small candle. No, that one will be too small. So let me use this same candle over here in the 15 minutes. I can also decrease this one to this part here. It all boils down to whatever we are doing. So as price broke the low, it came. Well, let me extend it a little bit. As price broke the low here, it came to test it and broke it again. So let's go to the 5 minutes. So in the 5 minutes, all right, good things happened there. Good things happened there. All right. Price came to test the zone for the first time. It came for the second time. And at the same time, testing for the second time, we also had a nice M pattern there. So obviously our entry will be here. And with no drawdown, wow, our stop loss also nicely placed. With no drawdown, think we have to be in decent profit. Of course, 100 pips. Then we are done there. Let's look for the next entry in the 1 hour. So when you look at this impulsive leg, there is this nice candle that will serve as the origin block, which will give us the zone. But when you look below that, you know, the origin and the breaker one, they are very close. So with this, you just include the zone like this. That's all. Just to include the zone. So we move on to 5 minutes to see whether price gave us some nice confirmations to end the trade. All right, so price tested for the first time. So as I always say, for the first time, most often I don't enter. This was a very small and a nice spin bar. You could have entered for about how many pips? 45 pips. Good for scalping. And price came for the second time and confirmed with this nice candle. Then my stop loss above that. I'm always happy when the stop loss is above this one. And also have the M pattern. So I'm assuming I missed this entry. The M pattern was given here. So that would be that. And the nice and other entry was that this low was broken. This low was broken. So assuming you also missed that entry, could have used even the low here to draw this one. Let me extend it to the top wick over here. Then set a limit order here. And lo and behold, price tagged you in and you are gone. Assuming price, yeah, of course, price will tag you in. So there is no need for anything. All right. So our recent entry was this one. Okay. So price gave us our TP or whatever exit over here. Then the next one, the next entry was price took out this low. It took out the low here with this 9 symbols. So I'll pick this low here and this candle as my breaker part of entry, then extend it like this. After price took out the low, it came to test for the first time. You can see here, but you can understand that when you go to the 5 minutes. Then it came to test the second time before probably this third move. So trading like this, there is no FOMO. You just have to be patient and wait for entries. Don't rush entries. So this was the first time, and the second time price came to test that. So assuming you were using a limit order because we have taken out a whole lot of lows, you could have secured an entry. But with this entry, even with this rejection candle, you would be safe to enter this nice position over here. Then TP was smashed. All right, let's go to 1 hour again and see what happened. All right, TP nicely smashed. Oh, where is it? There's it. So at the same time, as price is moving, I also have to look at what is happening in the 4 hour and see whether we are getting closer to the lower band. If we are getting closer to the lower band, then I think of a possibility of a reversal. Obviously, at this place, we are not close. Here we are close. So at this point in time, what I did over here is that when price got this close after this nice bullish candle here, I said I have to monitor price action over here. That was my thought. So I'm going to mark it H1. I have another one here. That's what I do. H1 zone. Then I come to probably the 1 hour to refine it. But here, as I was monitoring, I saw, let me look at the 15 minutes. I saw a nice W pattern formation here. This nice W pattern. So formation here. This is a buy. Okay. Trading reversals, very, very risky, especially when it is against the trend. All right. So price came, broke a lot of highs. Oh, let me decrease this a little bit. And it came to test again. So we broke probably this high here for the first time. Then we broke this high here for the second time. So using the origin block, in fact, this trade I entered and had a decent TP smashed. This is USD buy. So let's see what actually happened. Let's go to 15 minutes to see what actually happened with price. Or probably, let's go to 1 hour so that after that we will look at the second one. Price smashed TP. Then price moved into the zone that we have already marked for our reversal, for our sell trend to continue. So as price got into the zone, we have to find some sort of confirmation and enter. All right. Wow. So price got there. Here. So we had a wick here. This candle was too large. So in fact, I took this trade. This candle was too large. So I didn't enter. I waited again. Then it wicked again. So the second candle, which was bearish, just have to go short here. I'm targeting 100 pips. Price came. So it's up to you to manage your trade well, because price traveled about, this was a news. It's traveled about 75 pips and reversed back to entry. So if you don't want your emotions to get triggered, the most reason why I'm using my 170 moving average, it helps me to see, because there's triple bottom here, so I would exit and wait for something else. This is a pure sell. Then I wait. Of course, price couldn't tag me in. So after this wick rejection here, the pin bar candle, you just have to enter a new position over there. And in all, this 70 pips plus a whole of how many pips here? In fact, trade management is very, very important. About 90 pips. So you have something to deal with. All right. The last trade I took for the week, and it was a loss. Where is it? Okay. Since, of course, we know that the market is trending downwards. So on Friday, what happened was that I know in this zone, I'm looking for a downward move, an upward move. So I was expecting buy. So let's see. Let's move straight to the 5 minutes. Price came into the zone, and of course, we had that Friday. I took this as my first sign of entry. Price is here. Let's say I pick this one. All right. Then first one, I wouldn't touch it. Second one, so I entered my nice position somewhere around here. And USD, wow, price nicely took me out. It took me out. You know, trading, you are not always going to lose. So that was the loss I had on Friday. So one thing I always do is that whenever I'm trading reversals, instead of me risking the actual percentage, I have to divide it by 2 to trade. That's how I manage that. So since this one didn't work out, I didn't even bother looking for another trade. Yeah, and in the Friday, price moved very, very impulsively. So assuming I had the mindset that we are still going down, here I was looking for reversal. So I wasn't looking for anything that is going down. Assuming I had the mindset that we are still going down, how would I have caught these moves? Of course, price took out this lows. So I'll pick this zone, then extend it. Probably, let me pick this one. All right. Then sell. So price came through test this. Probably when you go to 5 minutes, there might be a confirmation. And when you pick this wick, the entire of this wick, and I look at this and I see that it's too wide, I just use half of that. So probably 2 positions that we could have secured on this if I had decided to look for shorts. Let's see. All right. Okay. So when you come to the 5 minutes, this is also something else, because this was a 9 zone here. A 9 zone here where we had this work. One thing I have realized about price action is that when the market is very, very impulsive, I most of the time use the 5 minute zone for my entry. So I would have taken this as my first entry in the zone. This is the second one touch. So my sell will probably be here, assuming I was sitting on the charts and I want to enter. That's how I look at the market. Then this second one, price also came to touch for the second time. The third time, looking at these bearish candles, they weren't all that strong. So wait, and probably when I look at this candle for instance here, when you enter, definitely you are going to hit a stop loss. So it depends on you whether you are going to decide to go for something else, whether you are to extend your stop loss. But the ideal entry for me was that I would rather love to enter here so that my stop loss will be even above this or harder else. So that's one thing we have to note whenever we are entering the trade. So these are the setups that happened for last week and last 2 weeks. So in the next week ahead, today is Sunday. So what we are expecting, price is still selling, but of course we can't enter. There has to be some form of retracement. Yeah, we have to see some form of consolidation, probably in this manner, to wherever price will be. Then we look for short to this downside. All right, but for now, we cannot do anything. We just have to wait for price to do its thing. Thank you. Bye-bye.